Imagine you run a small retail business. Your 13-week projection shows a tight cash flow in the next month due to inventory purchases that you needed to make. With this insight, you might negotiate extended terms with suppliers now or seek short-term financing to bridge the gap. And that's the power of this thing. It empowers businesses to make informed decisions rather than reacting to cash shortages when it's too late. Hey, Chip Schweiger here. Welcome to another edition of the Things Entrepreneurs Should Know, the business podcast for entrepreneurs, founders, and business owners who want to build lasting financial value and supercharge the growth of their business. Cash flow, it's the lifeblood of any business. But understanding your business's cash flow isn't just about how much money is coming in and going out of your business. It's about the timing of those cash flows. Understanding when you'll have money available to cover expenses is essential for managing your business's financial health. So today on the show, we're exploring an essential tool for financial planning in any business, the 13-week cash flow projection. We'll talk about why this tool is so powerful and valuable, as well as give you tips on how to create one, what to include, and how to implement it for your business. Because you're busy, we'll do it all in about 10 minutes. After the episode, check out the show notes at teskpod.com. Hi there and welcome back. Cash flow is essential for any business. In fact, with adequate cash flow, your business can last virtually forever. Without it, though, even with profitability, you'll soon be out of business. Now, cash flow isn't just about revenue and expenses. It's about understanding the timing of money coming in and going out. And a 13-week cash flow projection helps you visualize this. Now, in episode 22 of what I used to call the Entrepreneur's Advisor podcast, before we rebranded, we talk about why cash flow is so important and ways to get it. So that'd be a good episode to check out after we finish with this episode. But let's start this week by talking about why a 13-week cash flow projection is so valuable. And the answer is simple. A 13-week cash flow projection provides a short-term forecast of cash receipts and expenditures. It's crucial because it helps businesses anticipate periods of surplus or shortfall, enabling proactive decision-making. If you're only looking a week or two in advance, you risk spending money now and then running out of cash later. With a 13-week view, you have enough horizon to fully anticipate what's coming and can develop strategies early to effectively make it through any periods of cash shortfall. Essentially, you can not only identify potential cash shortfalls early, but you can take preemptive actions to mitigate risks, which might involve adjusting spending, accelerating receivables collection, or exploring financing options. So here's how it works. A 13-week projection typically includes your starting cash balance. This is what you have on hand at the beginning of the week. And next is expected cash inflows, which are inflows from sales, investments, loans, etc. Also projected cash outflows. These are expenses like payroll, rent, and utilities. And don't forget about expenses that you have on auto pay, because these can sneak up on you if you're not careful. And then finally, the ending cash balance. And this is what you expect to have at the end of each week. Now, keep in mind that this is all on a cash basis. So while your books are on an accrual basis, this is about cash flow. You're not going to include sales, for example, until you actually collect the cash. So if you're a retailer, that'll be right away. But if you extend credit, it'll be when those accounts receivable collections actually hit your bank. And by the way, check out episode 34 if you want some tips on how to supercharge your accounts receivable process. By updating your 13-week cash flow projection on a weekly basis, businesses can adjust their operations, manage working capital effectively, and ensure they've got enough cash to cover obligations. But you've got to update it on a weekly basis. Let's pivot a bit and discuss a practical example. Imagine you run a small retail business. Your 13-week projection shows a tight cash flow in the next month due to inventory purchases that you needed to make. With this insight, you might negotiate extended terms with suppliers now or seek short-term financing to bridge the gap. And that's the power of this thing. It empowers businesses to make informed decisions rather than reacting to cash shortages when it's too late. If you're considering implementing a 13-week cash flow projection, here's some key tips. First, use reliable historical data to make projections more accurate. If you've got regular hourly payroll, for example, this will be easier. But if it's up and down, you'll want to average those expenses, and then I'd probably add just a bit more. In fact, in the 13-week projections I do, I always add a little cushion called Other. Amateur golfers sandbag a bit, and that's exactly what I do with cash flow forecasting. Secondly, as we talked about already, update it weekly with actual numbers for better accuracy. And lastly, involve key stakeholders like finance teams or advisors to gain different perspectives. Now, there are software tools out there to help you do this, or you can get your accountant or bookkeeper to do it. But quite frankly, for my clients, I use a straightforward Excel spreadsheet that I've developed. It's simple, easy to read, and allows you to scenario plan by just copy and pasting everything to a new tab. As we wrap up, remember that while a 13-week cash flow projection may seem daunting, it's a powerful tool for navigating uncertain financial waters and ensuring the sustainability of your business. Once you get it set up, it provides a short-term forecast of cash receipts and expenditures that's crucial for helping you anticipate periods of surplus or shortfall. And that leads to better proactive decision-making. Well, that about wraps up another edition of the Things Entrepreneurs Should Know podcast. Be sure to check out our website at teskpod.com, where you can find the show notes, an archive of our past episodes, and other resources to help grow your business. That's teskpod.com. And if you haven't done so already, I'd appreciate if you take 1 minute to give us a review on Apple Podcasts or rate us on Spotify. It helps out a lot to get this to more entrepreneurs and business owners. And if you've done that already, please consider sharing this show with family and friends who you think would get something out of it. As always, thank you for your support. This is Chip Schweiger reminding you that if you always do what you've always done, you'll always get what you've always gotten. We'll see you next time.